digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Oh, I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Yes, guys, welcome to THFC Till We Die, home in Tottenham, past, present. Let me sort myself out here. And everything that's going forward with our great club, Tottenham Hotspur. Yes, we're in turmoil. Are we in crisis? I think we are a little bit, but just my opinion. But today, we're going to look at the press conference. Me and Rain, we're going to look over it. We're going to give our opinions. And then at 8 o'clock, you have the one and only, the Simon Jordan of the channel. The man that speaks his mind and doesn't care with the consequences. Yes, we've got Tequila, aka Simon Jordan, on later on the show, where we ask the question: is the writing on the wall? Yes, a bit of a yes. I took the inspiration from a James Bond theme song. Yes, Sam Smith actually wrote that song. That's why I took the inspiration for the song for the title of the show. But let's get on with it. Let's talk about the press conference. And joining me, of course, is my own mucker, Rain. How are you, bud? You get a bit famous now, getting on a few YouTube channels, putting the truth and justice about. Did you give us a bit of a plug at the end? Shamelessly asking.
I didn't actually. No, I didn't. I was too busy talking. I speak to lots of people,
Yeah.
and generally, if people are respectful to me, then I'll be respectful to them. And so I generally have, lots of. I've talked to Sean quite a bit.
Yeah.
I talked to Sava. He's a really good guy. Really good guy.
Yeah, I like Sava. I got great time for Sava. I not agree with his opinions, but I do like him. I think he's a good bloke.
Right. Yeah. So so I just like sharing my opinions and listening to other people to see if actually what I'm saying makes sense and if it should be changed. That's ultimately what I always think. I always think is somebody got something to say that makes me go, actually, what I've got in my head is wrong.
Yeah,
so that's
it's all about opinions, isn't it, bud? It's all about opinions and opinion. That's what football's about, isn't it? Football is about opinions. It's about different opinions.
I'm quite clear. A lot of people just want to be right.
Yeah.
A lot of people just want to be right. I've known a lot of people in my life who won't say sorry because they think if they say sorry, it means that they were wrong. And if they were wrong now, that means that you're always going to treat them like they're wrong. and it's a really we're drifting down a rabbit hole. But I see that as a very regressive mindset. I think I've always, believed in scientific method. I've always believed that your opinions should be flexible, should be able to change, and you should be able to say sorry. But anyway,
exactly. I agree. I agree.
Anyway,
let's get on with it. Let's get on with the press conference. Big up to everyone that's in their house already. It's the people that are watching are gradually getting bigger, so get your comments into the comment section. And let's bring them up. If you can, put it into super chat if you want to get ahead of the queue, and also pick up your membership, 99¢. But most importantly, hit that like button. If hit it like you hate the Arsenal, and hit that subscription button if you love your wife. So there you go. Two single things to do for us, guys. Press conference today. It is interesting. Brain about it. I watched it a few times. I felt he was a bit backtracking on some of his things that he said Saturday, maybe the heat in the moment thing, but we know what Pedro Porro put out today. We know what Papa Sarr put out today. I don't really want to get into that now because I want to really get in. That's what shows later on is all about. But it did say, he said, what is your message to the supporters ahead of tomorrow's game? And basically, Ryan, he was more or less saying we need the fans. Tottenham are nothing without the fans. They're fantastic fans. But I was watching the stream today, and what I got from it, that the away fans seem to be more forgiving than the home fans. Have we got two different sets of fans here? One that go away up and down the country, and the ones that are at home. But it's Thomas Frank regretting what he said. I don't think he is, but I think he's backtracking. But I think you have a different flexi on it, don't you?
No. I totally get that take, and I think I wouldn't say. I think backtracking is one way to put it. I would say he's definitely backtracking. He's backtracking, but the way he's trying to do it, he's trying to be very nuanced. He's trying to qualify it. It's okay to boo, but not during the game. I'm sorry, mate. But you may be rational. You may be able to, to go, I'm going to do this and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this. And obviously, we all have to control our emotions. But part of the reason why, football fans go to football, go to matches. I'm a very rational, but I like to think I'm a very rational person. I can be emotional. My Greek side does come out. But during a football match, I'm passionate about. I've said it before. I'll never forget getting shushed by Hugo Lloris for yelling at them to push up. Turned around, looked at me, and shushed like this. I don't think you can. I don't know about you, Dermot. I'm not a booer, right?
No, I'm not.
I'm not a booer, but I totally get it. I totally get it. I think there's some people who've been saying that the players need to man up.
Yeah.
I'm probably not a fan of that, but I am a Gen X. I do think you just need to get on with the bloody job.
Yeah.
You do need to get on with the job. And I stand by what I said the other day. I don't think they're taking personal responsibility for their actions.
I don't think they are, nor the manager, actually. And I think fans have a right to boo. Do I like it? No. Do I agree with it? No. But they have a right to boo. We pay the high ticket prices in Europe. So when we pay these prices, we expect a certain standard of football to be played. And especially if you look at our record at home, I mean, for the show later, Rain, I got some stats together that make your teeth itch. I mean, 2 o'clock this morning, I couldn't sleep. So I thought, fuck it, I'll get tonight's show done. and the stats I was finding was unreal. Like, so look, for me, I think Thomas Frank has to, I think an apology wouldn't have gone out the way by today. Say, look, I was sorry about Saturday, what I said. Look, I was emotional after the game with the booing, with the way we played in the first half. And look, I think we should get together. He was asked the question, would you consider speaking to fan groups? He said, I would consider a lot of things. I think there's two ways of performing and connecting. Connecting is a lot of things. In general, always believe in dialogue. We are privileged to have a lot of fans, so there will be a lot we need to reach out to. I think this has not been since Thomas Frank. I think this has been going on for a few years now, maybe under Range as well, maybe under Conte as well. We've been sort of dysfunctional within the players. I also think it has an awful lot to do with the owners as well, Rain. And I just think that if the owners are pulling in one direction, the players are pulling in one direction, all pulling in the same direction, the fans will automatically get behind that if we can see what we're doing. But I'm sick of always going through another project. We should have built on what we did last summer, and we didn't. And Ange had it out with the fans. Ange was arguing with the fans. I think the fans have a right to be angry. They have a right to have their say. You know, we are the football club at the end of the day. The players may play for the football club, the manager may manage, the owners may own, but we are the soul of the football club. If we don't go, then what's a football club? Look at us during COVID. There was no fans there. Yeah, it's a football game.
It's a concert venue.
Yeah, a concert venue. Yeah, exactly. But do you get my point that the club need the fans as much as we need the club? But the club at the moment, it's like being in a relationship where the club's cheating on us and we don't know how to deal with it. That, in my view, I know it's probably a stupid way of putting it, but it's like being in a toxic relationship. Like,
yeah, big up Wayne. We started about 10 minutes ago.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think the club. You don't have to speak to multiple fan groups.
No.
You can go through one fan group.
Yeah.
If you go through the supporters trust, I know lots of people have had a problem with the supporters trust, but if you go through the supporters trust, they have connections to various. It's like a spider web. The fan community. Lots of us who are active, know other people who are active. Dave's been on Last Word on Spurs, so and Ricky Sachs knows the supporters trust people quite well. And so so there's and Sean and Dave know but my point is everybody does know each other, and it wouldn't be too hard to have appropriate fan representation, either solely through the supporters trust. I never bought into this into the fan advisory board. I thought it was a club construct. That's not going to work. It needs to be fan led, not club led. As soon as a club controls,
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So meet with the supporters trust once or twice a year, and have a good chat. Have a good chat with them. It doesn't. You don't have to. You can be proprietary about it. You can ensure that things that shouldn't be talked about aren't talked about, because the supporters trust will be respected. But have the discussions about the fact that the fans happy with the general direction of the transfer policy. That's my big thing. The general direction of the transfer policy. are the fans happy with the general direction of the tactical style and general, and play? Are there other things, and they should be more public about it, that the fans would like to see done? A really good example is Return of the Shelf, and singing sections, and more more leeway for flags and tifos, which the club really clamps down on. So there is a disconnection to the fans, and it's caused by the club. It's caused by the club wanting to have control, and that doesn't work. You can't control the fans. You can't tell them not to boo. You can't tell them what they want. And when the fans say stuff like, we would like to create a singing section, you need to effectively enable it rather than try to control it.
Yeah, no, I think you're right on that. Look, we're going to move on because we've got a lot more to say about that tonight, and there'll be a lot more coming about that in the next few days. There definitely will be. He was then asked, you often spoke about staying calm during difficult spells. What's the message to the players? How are you keeping them calm? And I won't read out the full quote, but he says, we, of course, have meetings yesterday and today. And yesterday, of course, like normal, debriefing the Fulham game, which wouldn't be hard to do. I mean, that should have taken all of 5 minutes to debrief. You were shit. Today, looking more forward to Newcastle. Yeah, trying to explain to them why you've lost the last 4 up there on the bounce, and how we feel that we're going to get whooped up there again. There will be some meetings tomorrow. There's a lot of meetings going on, I'll tell you. As I said from the beginning, we want to build something sustainable that can compete in all tournaments, and we have a squad that is learning from last year. Playing Premier League and European footballs going into this year. We're playing in the Champions League. I won't do well in the Premier League. That's competing on both fronts. That's something that takes time to learn physically and mentally. Yeah, right. Okay. We're searching to find the right formula that will click, and we have to rotate some players to keep the freshness. He goes on, blah, blah, blah. He goes on to say, I think it was Everton. It was a Newcastle as well. Chelsea and Copenhagen. Ours was also a 2-2-2. It was only us. Arsenal that had that. The fact is, if you have 2 days between times, it's just more complicated. It's not impossible. We still need to perform. We still need to win matches. It's just a fact. Joining us is our resident Simon Jordan. Good evening. Used to own the football club.
Hey, Peter. I think that's really, really important, Dermot. I think Frank is really struggling to work out how to deal with 2 games a week.
I think he is.
And I said it in the summer. As soon as we got Frank, I said that the biggest concern is he's going to have to learn how to do that, and we're going to have to be patient while he learns, because he's going to make mistakes. That's what happens when people learn. They make mistakes and they learn from their mistakes. And Dave said it as well on the Irish Hotspur.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's whilst there were lots of other, whilst a lot of people were in the we should never have sacked Ange. Frank is the second coming, and then there was some reasonable people in the middle who were like, well, it is what it is, and these are the potential risks with Frank.
I get it.
I think he is struck. So if everyone's going, he's tinkering. I think that's why. I really do. I really think that's what. I think he is trying to work it out at the same time as having 15 injuries. And
look, I think the injuries have gone down a bit, Rain, to be fair. I think now we've only got about 6 out, I think, and 2 of them are long term. Big up to you, T, coming in. Didn't know you coming in, but I know we're on tonight. So
no, I didn't know you guys. You didn't know you guys were on. Otherwise, I would have joined.
No, this was a last minute thing. I just watching the press conference, and I just had to come on and talk about it. I just had to get my views out the press conference, and tonight's going to be spicy because we are going to explode. Me and Tequila, we are. There's a few things we are going to explode about.
I've been told
we've been talking.
I'm not allowed to talk about those things, Tequila. I've been.
Okay. He wants to say the main fireworks for the. He wants to say the main fireworks for tonight. Does he? Okay.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Look, on the 2 game a week thing, I agree with you. I think he is struggling. But what we're struggling last year with 2 games a week. It's like for me, right? It's like if you, I mean, Tequila, you're very critical of some of the players, and rightly so. We watched Simon Jordan.
It depends how mouthy they get. I've got a problem with certainly one of them now.
Well, 2 of them.
Well, I don't know about. I heard the Tsar had some stuff to say, but I don't know what he actually said. So until I know
I've been trying to find it. I can't find it. Maybe it's been deleted. I mean, if you were Thomas Frank, how would you keep the players calm during this difficult spell? What if you were a manager? What would you do?
I mean, Martin Keown on TalkSpot earlier. He made a couple, even though he's a gooner.
Not bad,
right? Yeah. He made some points, right? He made some valid points. A lot of it I didn't agree with, and I think it's become more and more evident that the players, and this is reflected in our home form. And I can't tell you exactly when this changed, but this changed before Frank. It must have changed at some point during Angie's reign. I can't pinpoint the exact game. Maybe someone else who's got a better memory than me. But the relationship between the team and the players has fallen off a cliff. And I'm not sure exactly when this erosion started. But what's happened is, and it makes sense now, stuff's starting to make a bit more sense in my mind. Why are the team playing so much worse at home? And we all assumed it was to do with tactics. And maybe the tactics are a part of it. But I don't think they don't like playing at home. Because they're scared of the fans. I use the term scared loosely, right? You can call it other things. But I don't think they like the fans. And this is coming more and more, the more the stuff's opened up. So they don't like the fans, so they don't feel safe at home. They don't feel secure. Like I say, it feels like I'm talking about a bunch of little girls, but this is how it's coming across to me. So I'll be that surprised why we are generally so bad at home. Because they prefer to play away. Because they probably feel like, oh, well, only the diehards are, and maybe they're right. Only the die-hard fans are probably, a lot of them only are going to follow them all across the country.
I'd slightly disagree with that, but
what, you don't think?
A little bit. No, I think you can be die-hard home and away. I think there's fans that go just to home games. Just as much.
But from the players, you might think that, but from the players' point of view,
I get you. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Right, they might think, well, the away fans. Look, you've heard what Paro said. The proper, right? This has now come up. The proper Spurs fans. They might feel that the away fans are fans they can trust, and they think when they play at home, 3/4 of the fan base don't want them there. And are they wrong? Not sure they are. I think a lot of the fan base don't really want them there. They might support them because that's what you do, but they obviously don't feel very loved. Like I say, it feels like we're talking about a bunch of kindergarten kids, but they don't feel very loved. And I think that this is being reflected in the performances. They don't feel secure at home. They're scared to make a mistake. They're going to be even more scared now because they've seen what happened to Vicario. Even though I think fans have got a right to boo, it's not going to help is that now they're going to be even more scared to make a mistake. And especially if you've got a lot of the younger players who are a bit more impressionable, right? Then they're going to be absolutely terrified to make a mistake. And if they make a mistake, then they're going to be absolutely blasted by their home fans. And my point is, I don't know when this happened. I think it happened last year.
I think it happened before. I think it happened before that. I think it's disconnected.
2 years ago then.
2 years ago. I think it happened I think the first sign of it was when we had Nuno. I don't know if you were at that game, Rain, when Nuno was the Man United game, the game he was sacked. And the fans were shouting, "You don't know what you're doing." When he took off, I can't remember who he took off and brought on, but I think the disconnect started from that game.
It's Mora.
Yeah, I think the disconnect, and I think got worse under Ange, and I think it's getting worse now under Frank because somebody put here in the comments here in that press conference, even he was losing confidence when being questioned because he has now realised the gap between being the manager of Spurs and Brentford is poles apart. Look, I sort of get that. I thought he was very tetchy Saturday. He looked very sheepish today in this press conference. He didn't look his usual self. Guys, do you think he's really feeling the pressure? Do you think the pressure is really on him now? He knows the pressure is on him.
I mean, he has to be. It wouldn't be human if he didn't. He can say he's not all he likes, but we've all been there at some point when you're doing something. You're on a job, you're on a project, you're dealing with somebody. It's not going well, and it just plays. You can try to turn it off all you like, and some of us get very good at it. But at some point, when it gets really bad, you can't turn it off. And it is, yeah. I do agree with that, with what Lynn said. I think it's the exposure and the expectations. There's just so many expectations for what Spurs should be doing, how we should play, what our performances should be, and that's not always replicated elsewhere. Other teams, other fans obviously want their. I'm not saying this is unique to Spurs fans. Other fans obviously want their clubs to do well, but I always go back to the fact that. Oh,
it's all right.
Okay, I always go back to the fact that when I grew up, I supported a non-league club, and we went up, we got promoted, we got relegated, got promoted, we got relegated. So I've been there. A lot of Spurs fans, their experience of Spurs is top 5 and last year winning the Europa League. That's pretty much it. Finishing 8th when Conte left. But apart from that, top 5 and Europa League. Whereas if you go to like Villa, if you go to West Ham, Everton, these clubs are in the bottom half, relegated. Villa were in Championship, and as a fan, I don't think I'm not saying that they don't have expectations of their club. You got to get some resilience. I'm not sure we got it.
I mean, I'm just reading some of the comments in the chats.
I do agree with Iceman. I think Iceman's sorry to drag, but I think this comes back to something that Dermot and I were talking about last week, which is that these players are academy trained, and it's like Vicario's not happy that he got booed. But I'm telling you this: if you play youth football, on a muddy pitch, and you do something wrong, there will be adults who give you, who yell at you, right? What the are you doing? Come on, sort it out. And that's kids, and what that does is that builds resilience. You don't want it to be a bit sink or swim. You do want to help them, but it does build resilience. I think there's too many. I think we're in the era where a lot of players don't have that resilience.
Well, that could be, without delving too much into societal issues, Rain. That could be quite prevalent, and that could be a generational thing that goes farther than just football, regarding entitlement and other things that I don't think we probably all want to get into, because he's meant to be a football channel. But I think that there's more than stuff like that affects more than just football. I think you're right. I don't think there's anything you can do about it, at least some of it. One thing that I did notice, I was watching a couple of channels last night, is it could just be, and I'm not saying this is the case because I'm not 100% sure, it could just be that both of these can be true, that Ange wasn't particularly good for us, and that we've just signed another manager who isn't particularly good for us. It sounds simple, but it could simply be that. everybody thought that once we got rid of Ange, the next manager would come in and be a wonderful. But maybe we've just chosen badly again. And even though he did a decent job at Brentford, there is some managers fit better than others. We saw that with Nuno. Nuno's a good manager. He's proven it at Forest and at Wolves that he's got a good head on his shoulders. We'll see what he does at West Ham. But he didn't fit Spurs. And Thomas Frank, it feels like it's very similar. Thomas Frank isn't a bad manager. We all know he's not. He's proven it. He's proven it that he does know what he's doing generally. But it could just be that, again, unfortunately for us, we've just chosen badly again. I don't know if that's the case, but it could be. But I think we're all looking for trying these kind of deep reasons why, but it just could be simple. It's just another bad appointment.
Well, that's down to Vinay and Lang, isn't it? They're the ones that did this appointment.
Are we not blaming Levy for this? Are we not blaming?
Well,
can we not blame the guy who's just exited? Can we?
No, it was down to Vinay and Lang, who were there at the club. They were behind this appointment, so they would have to get the next appointment right. Is the job too big for him? Probably. But was it a mistake to sack Ange? If you want to build something and you want to build it on success, I know Tequila, you want his biggest fan.
I don't agree that was success. Me and you see it differently. You know we do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get the league wasn't, but winning the Europa League probably was. I mean,
poor. It was a poor thing to win. It's a trophy. I'm not arguing that. I know that I wouldn't know the argument demo. We've gone over it. Yeah, it's a trophy, but it was poor. You know it was.
Yeah.
But it was a trophy, but it still was poor.
Yeah. And then he was asked about Xavi. Now, we all got opinions on Xavi Simons. We all know, is he trying to do you need to give him time? Should he be playing well now? Whatever. There's loads of different reasons for Xavi, but he was asked, what does Xavi Simons need to show you to earn more minutes? And can we expect to see him start tomorrow in this busy period? Now, we have got games coming up. We've got Newcastle tomorrow, Brentford Saturday, and then we're really gearing up to the Christmas period where the games come thick and fast. His answer to that was, Thomas, of course, there is a reason why we've got Simons Xavi here. I think he's a very good player in every aspect. Xavi has trained well in the last couple of days in general training as well. Also, I think also that we've talked about it. It's not the first time a player is stepping into the Premier League. You just need a bit of adaptation to hit the ground running. That's the one thing, the physical league, but also to play every game, every third or fourth day in a team that's maybe not top in sync. How can we help each other? That's part of the process. Who wants to start on this now? Who wants to go first? Do you want to go first? Who wants to go? Keely, you want to go first in this, bud?
Before I answer it, can I just say something I thought of again
no problem.
Just this morning as I was reading all this news regarding Thomas Frank? It's just I'm trying to work out. I'm trying to analyze what I think the issue is, and I still haven't got it figured out, and I probably never will be. But I just wonder if Frank is. See, the narrative is that Spurs are too big a club to him, and maybe too big a club for him, but I'm not sure it's the size of the club. I think it might be to do with he's just not experienced the powder keg that is Spurs. Mm-hmm. Because you've said this to me, Dermo, and we've joked about it. Is there a bigger drama queen of a club than Tottenham Hotspur?
Probably not.
What,
Chelsea? Maybe Watford?
Liverpool.
When they had
Liverpool going through it. I think we do tend. I do think there is. I mean, and Arsenal have been through it as well. I do think there is. We see it because we're in it. We're inside this tent, and we don't see inside the other tents. But I've certainly seen West Ham. I mean, West Ham. Did you know that West Ham have been having loads of protests about their owners? Right. So we don't see that. We don't. We know about the change for Tottenham protests. We never heard about the protests really outside West Ham. And the Liverpool fans are going apoplectic. What's going on over there? I had somebody say to me, Liverpool are going through a rough patch, but nobody's complaining. Like, are you not seeing it? Because I am. I'm on X and I see it. And it's we're inside our bubble. I think
that's fair. But it's like he's come from Brentford, which are one of the more sensible, and that's the word I'll use, and stable clubs. You don't hear that much drama going on at Brentford. Rain's right. We are in the Spurs bubble, so yeah, he's right, 100%. But even so, even when you like listen to the news and you listen to the Talk Sport, whatever it is you listen to, every now and again you'll get an occasional story about Brentford and stuff like that. But it's just, and maybe again this is the size of the club, because Brentford is a smaller club, it's a smaller profile, so there's not going to be as they're not going to generate as much news, because the journalists aren't going to be after as many stories from those clubs as they will be for clubs like Spurs and the big London clubs. But still, he's come from a place of stability into, like I say, I've described it as a powder keg, because I think Spurs is one of the most unstable jobs and has been for many years. A lot of that was due to our ex-chairman, who kind of fostered that atmosphere. A lot of it is on us, the fans, because we are impatient. A lot of football fans are, but the reason I think we are so impatient is desperation. In my opinion, it's desperation, because we got so close a couple of years ago under Poch. We could taste it, right? We could taste it. We tasted the Champions League final. We tasted nearly the league. We tasted it, and then we had it ripped apart. And I don't think we've gotten over it, because we've realised that slowly we've eroded, ever so slowly, we've eroded year by year by year by year. And it's harsh and it's upsetting. And we don't kind of want to admit it, although we know that we have.
Yeah.
We've
become
so desperate. It's a powder keg.
Let's be clear. The Wembley years were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We were incredible at Wembley. Wembley itself. By the way, I just so agree with that comment. I think we lack leadership from top to bottom. I think we did get a bit of leadership. I think Ange tried to apply some leadership. I definitely think Poch, we all felt that Poch led our club really, really well. And I did Conte? Probably not. Jose definitely didn't. And we've never had it from the board, really. So I think, and we don't have it on the pitch.
No,
we've never really had it on the pitch. I can't remember. I can't remember the last time we had. I can't remember, because I never thought that Lloris was a leader. He was more like a player union rep.
Yeah, he was. We haven't had a captain, I think, of the team, or leaders in the team, I think, since the 90s or the early 2000s, where you had the likes of Ledley King, Robbie Keane. You had players like that. Even back in the 80s, we had Graham Roberts, Paul Allen. We had Steve Perriman, Ozzy Ardiles. Players like that would pull. Even in the 90s, under our bad years, we had players like Paul Allen. We had even Gary Lineker was a bit of a leader, to be fair. He would give it. He would shout and roar up front. We had Gary Mabbott. We had players like that. And I think this generation of footballers that don't like to lead, they're from a privileged background, that they're too privileged in their approach to the game. Where years ago you had a harsh upbringing in football. You had the JSY scheme. You had the youth academy. You were given rough nuts. These players don't have that. They're all spoon fed. Do you know? I don't know if I'm right and wrong on that, but that's I feel.
Just gonna go back to my Bible, which is the Conte rant. These players, they don't like pressure. He knew. Mm-hmm. You can go back to that Conte rant, and like just pick out the various bits, and And it's like I say, it's like the Bible. You can just pick out his rant, and you can go Conte 3:15, right? That's and then quote it, like some people do with religious texts to prove a point, because it's just so easy to apply.
No, I get it. Look, guys, we'll have a bit of breaking news. We've got this just dropped in my email box by people we use on the channel. Tequila, we do trust him very much, don't we? He's never let us down yet. And do you want to read it out, bud? Go on, you read it out.
Oh, bear with me a sec, dude. I'm dealing with an idiot in chat.
Okay.
All right. Okay, then.
I'll read it. Let me read it. Yeah. So Frank's family had said that they think Thomas made a mistake by taking the Spurs job and feel the way he is being treated is unfair. It's unknown if Thomas Frank himself regrets his decision or not.
He won't when he gets his payoff, Rain. He'll be a very rich man.
Did he sign a 2-year contract or was it an 18-month contract?
It can't be an 18-month contract. It would have been a 2-year contract.
2-year contract, yeah.
Minimum, but I'm not sure it was. I think it might be a 3. I think it might be a 3. But this is my biggest worry with all of the noise and the direction of Frank out is people are forgetting 72 days and we ended up with Nuno through and it wasn't we went after Nuno for 72 days. It's we went through a whole load of managers before we landed on Nuno. Ange was not first choice. Ange was like fifth or sixth choice, and we landed on him. Whether we think he was right or not, that's the facts, right? We definitely wanted Slot, and Slot turned us down. We definitely wanted Nagelsmann, and he turned us down, right? And we definitely wanted, before Nuno, we wanted Conte, and he turned us down.
Yeah.
And fans are forgetting that managers are not managers see what's going on.
Yeah, I get it. Look, I think it's a little bit worrying that these things are coming out at the moment, Tequila. I don't know what you think, bud. We will talk about it more tonight. I just want to get back to the press conference if we can. There's a few I want to get off soon because we are on at 8, so I want to get a bit of a break in between shows. Look, Tequila, I'm going to get this one is for you, and then Ryan, I'll give you the next one. So this one's for you, Tequila. How impressed have you been with Newcastle performances, City and Everton recently, and the timing of playing them away? He bravely said, Tequila, yeah, I know Newcastle are good. I think they've been good for a long time since Eddie Howe took over. I said that before. I admire Eddie and his coaching staff, everything they do massively. They are a very intense team, very aggressive. Speaking about having a good home record, it is a difficult place to go. Everyone knows that. I think they've won the last 6 home games, so perfect timing, good, but that's not unbeatable. I'm sick to death of him praising other managers and other teams, Tequila. I'm sick of him showing more respect, where I want my manager to be respectful, but also disrespectful. I want my manager to be a little bit more punchy in the, yeah, they're a good side, but we can go up there and win. Yeah, they may have won 6 home games on the trot, but they haven't faced us yet. We would bring our own troubles to their tactics. So the question I'm going with, Tequila, on this one is, are you getting a bit fed up of Thomas Frank praising our opposition in the press conferences? And if you do look back at previous managers, they weren't so praiseworthy. If you were the manager, how would you be?
I think the first thing I'm going to say is I'm not sure I should be allowed to answer that question because apparently I shouldn't be allowed on your show.
Who said that?
Oh, just an idiot in the chat. But just to let you know, the lovely people we have in our chat sometimes, because I'm not allowed an opinion, so I shouldn't be allowed to be on your show. Other than that,
this is where our mod should be actually.
Don't worry, don't worry, dude. It's fine. I've said my little piece. I'll leave it alone. To actually answer your question, am I fed up about it? Yeah, but in a way, what I think he's doing, he's doing that. it's a little bit of a defeatist attitude, but I can also see where his real feelings are kind of. He kind of realizes he's not going to come out and say it, I don't think, but in a way he has said it, but he's mincing his words because he's trying to not come across as too kind of defeatist. But I think what he's saying is he probably doesn't expect to win up there.
No.
But you can't come out and say, I don't think, we're going to go up there. Chances are we're not going to win. That's probably what he thinks, as do most of the fans. But you can't say it. So he's trying to be diplomatic way of saying it without coming across as being too defeatist. So he's more or less, what he said there, if you read between the lines, is like, yeah, we know we probably haven't got much of a chance, but we'll try. Mm-hmm. Thing is, if he came out and said that, I might have had a bit of respect for him. But a lot of fans wouldn't. A lot of fans would be like, mate, like, you can't be saying that, right? Because, but that's kind of what he's saying. And I think that most realistic fans are probably, considering our current form, it's not a very high chance that we'll win. We could grab a draw, but the chances of us winning up there are low. So I don't know really, Dermo, what you kind of expect him to say. I understand why you're frustrated, but I don't know what he can say. He can either go the complete opposite route and say, yeah, we're going to go up there and smash them. But if he knows that, he's going to be going to hide him for nothing, because then fans will say, they'll then say, well, that's just ridiculous. Mm-hmm. He's living in cuckoo land and all this. He's delusional is the key word. That's what the other fans will say. So on that one, I feel like he kind of can't win. Like, I don't know what. So what would you want him to say? Yeah, what do you want him to say, Dermo?
If I was Thomas Frank, I'd go in there, show a bit of respect to them, and just say, look, we're going to go up there and give it our all. We're going to give it our best shot. We're gonna give something for the fans. We owe the fans something after our last performance, and we have to go up there. We didn't win up there in the League Cup, and we owe them. We owe that, and that's what I want. I want that sort of thing. I get it. You got to show respect, but Tequila's not the first one. He's shown the respect to all other teams in press conferences. I don't want my manager doing that. I'm sorry. I show respect, but don't bend over and expect to be spanked like by them. It's okay, Thomas. Well done. Another brownie point for you.
Dermot,
I miss the old days when managers were a bit fiery with each other.
Yeah, I would be shaking hands with the fact that Frank is never going to do what you just said.
Yeah,
because if he is not going to become that person. He just isn't that person. And I don't think there are many managers left who are like that, to be fair.
No, I don't think there is.
I think most of them are, Eddie's been doing a really good job up there. I've been watching them, they're playing quite well. But obviously, they're all very conciliatory. Apart from a couple, apart from a few who are like Arteta's just bashes up against everybody. So, I think you're going to be eternally disappointed.
I know I am. I'm always internally disappointed, but hey ho, that's life and carry on. And also, mods, do your job. People are allowed an opinion on this channel. You don't like it, they can piss off. You leave you leave the channel owners alone on it. You leave Tequila alone. He's a part of this channel. He gives a very good. Hang on, right? I just want to finish. Sorry, bud. Yeah. He gives very good opinions. He speaks very adequately. Sorry, thank you, Mrs. Tron. Even Mrs. Tron thinks he's brilliant when he's on his rant. He's a Simon Jordan of this channel. He stands by his
Don't worry about it, mate. Honestly, don't worry about it. I said my piece on him. So it's not. I don't even think that it's only one dude who's not even in the chat anymore. I don't think he hasn't posted anything else. So
it just annoys me, Tequila. Sorry, I apologize. It just annoys me.
Sorry.
I don't know why I'm a bit protective of you, to be honest. Sorry. Right. Okay. Last question we are going to ask is where is it now? Vicario. Now, guys. Vicario, he came out after. Look, very quickly, a yeah or no question. Did it show guts to come out and speak to the media after the game, Vicario, Tequila, yeah or no?
Did it take guts? Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. He's putting himself in the firing line. Yeah. I don't think I can compliment any more than that. No. It's one of those things. You know what? It's like it's like the players, including Vicario and most players, when Vicario, he doesn't really do this because he's not an outfield player. But when the players score a goal, they all celebrate. They go to the fans and they bask in their adulation. These players only want it one way.
Yeah.
They'll take the adulation and all the praise that goes with it when they play well, when they score a goal, but they don't want to take the other part. They don't want to take the criticism, right? Now, I agree with what Frank was more or less saying, that it doesn't help most players. There's always exceptions. Most players, it won't make them play better. He's right. What he said was absolutely right. My problem is that he then had to go the extra mile and say they weren't proper Tottenham fans. That's the part that got me.
True fans, true Tottenham fans.
Yeah. The first part of what he said, I agreed with. It's just because he then felt the need to go the extra part on it. That's where I don't agree with that stuff. But he was right when he says it doesn't actually probably help majority of those players when you're booing them during the game, because the chances are they probably won't react in a positive way. So there's some characters will, most won't. So I just wanted to make that point across, that I kind of agree with what Frank was saying, but then he had to add the extra stuff.
Yeah, I know. And look, for me, can I just say big up to Knights Republic? I'm sure Tequila will really, that's big up, mate, for saying that. I think everyone, so it says Tequila, don't mind them. They don't have to come on to the show like you, mate. So
I don't want to make the show about it, Dermot. Let's make the show about what we want to make the show about.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think it shows. I do think it shows something about his personality.
Yeah.
And I'm quite clear. Lots of people were very upset about Vicario, that every time he makes a mistake, he yells and shouts at everybody else. And I remember hearing that, and that's, people have been saying that for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Right? And I honestly have been hearing that and been going, well, do you know what? No. What he's doing is he's saying, we should have done this, we should have done that. He's trying to do the I'm going to boss my penalty area thing.
Yeah.
But I can't say that anymore, because that mistake and the way that he then reacted.
Yeah, I agree.
That mistake was 100% him. There was nobody else involved. I bet you there was nobody in that stadium or watching on TV that thought that what he did was the right thing, or that instinctively would have done what he did. Everybody instinctively would have kicked it out. Absolutely everybody, right? I think 99.999%, and you can't legislate for the bozo who was on the pitch, right?
Yeah.
And he went ballistic.
Was it at Bergville?
I don't know who. I watched it, and he's like shouting and yelling.
Anyone who will listen, Ryan, he was doing it. Anyone who will listen.
Who are you?
Can I just say?
It does say this to me about his personality.
Yeah, it does. Can I just?
It's not about bottle. It's about I'm not responsible, and I'm going to come and say it's almost like a personality disorder, right? Where you go, I know that I should feel responsible, so I'm going to say it, but actually I don't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not going to take responsibility for my actions. I cocked up, and I understand. Look, I was behind the goal with him at Crystal Palace at Brighton when we won 2-1. The only time we've won when I've gone there. The rest of them we've drawn or lost. So it could be.
Can I ask you, Ryan, since you were actually at the game, do you think, in your opinion, from what you could see there, right, that people were booing Vicario because of the silly pass he made, and obviously then they scored, or do you think the fans saw that he was blatantly not taking responsibility? Yeah, but he was blatantly not taking responsibility after the goal went in, and all the fans could see, especially in the crowd, they could see him berating like you've just described. So he was booed after that. So do you think they were booing him more because it's just like, this guy's not only has he made a mistake, I'm not saying that part, but was a lot of the booing, do you think, because they've seen him pass the buck and not take responsibility right live in the game? They've just seen him shout at everyone else.
Absolutely. We teach our children to show contrition when they've done something wrong. Why do we do that? One, it shows that they've understood they've done something wrong and they're going to learn from it, right? And if he's not showing contrition, then he doesn't understand he's done something wrong. Therefore, he's not going to learn from it. And let's be clear, he has made mistakes in the past, right? And our team is full of mistakes. But also we get children to show contrition. And I'm talking about our players like they're children. But I'm sorry. I'm old enough to be I'm old enough to be their dad. But you know, so maybe I do see them like, but I think a lot of them behave that way, right? And we ask them to show contrition to because it is a way of placating the frustrations of people around you. Yeah. If people are frustrated with you and you go, "Oh, I'm sorry," they immediately calm down. Those other people immediately calm down. So if Vicario, I completely agree with you, Tequila. If Vicario had turned around and gone, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, please forgive me," people would not have booed him. People would have gone, "All right, look, you're a bozo," but they would not have booed him if he would have clearly said sorry to the players and to the stadium. But what he did instead was have a go, and that just inflames people's emotions.
Also, Rain, do you also think that everything you've just said is what I think as well, but also the fact that he was the one who came out only a couple of weeks before and took the first kind of little jab at the fans, didn't he? He was the first one who took the first.
He started it.
He did it last year as well.
It's true. Yeah, so do you think all these things are combined? It wasn't just that one silly pass he did and then jogged back to the goal. That, of course, that played a role because it just happened. But it's been building with him, hasn't it?
He's got consistent, but this is consistent behaviour. This is personality. So you get to a point in life where you have ingrained personality, and it takes a big effort to change that part of your personality. Like, I've got it. If somebody fronts up to me and I feel like they're bullying me, I learned very early on that the best way to deal with it is punch them in the face. And I will defend myself if I feel like somebody's bullying me. Whereas other people learned that, you know, it's actually, I'm just gonna just quieten down. This is personality with Vicario.
I agree. I agree with everything you lads say. I can't say anything else to it. What you've both said. I just feel I've seen goalkeepers make mistakes before. Ray Clements made a howler in the 82 semi-final against Barcelona where it went through his arms, and his reaction was to fall to the ground with his head in his hands, and everyone got behind him. Vicario, I said I was at the Brighton game. He never shuts up. He's shouting and swearing. He knows more swear words in English than I ever knew he did. And I think the defenders in front of him, we've seen it this year as well, guys, that Romero's turned around to him and bollocked him over certain things. There isn't that trust between Vicario and that back four or back five, wherever they play. I think Romero doesn't trust him. I don't think Van de Ven trusts him. I think that trust has been broken. But we haven't got another decent goalkeeper to take over from him. But big up, we would say big up to Len. It says, do you think the fans are trying to say to Vicario, are you trying to throw Frank and the team under? But yeah, he jogged back. He wasn't even sprinting. If that was me or Tequila or Rain, we would be sprinting back and running as quickly as we could to stop that. I think we need a change. Thursday, I've done it today. I've got all the PDFs done with the squads, Tequila. I've put them all together, and they're all ready to go Thursday for our keep sell or loan section program we're doing. So that's all been done. It's already up on the channel on Thursday. So guys, do join us for that. Big up to our Spur COYS. I would give Frank a D grade if he was in school. Big up to our Spur. Hope you do. I think you're in America, aren't you? I think you're in Vegas. Do you live in Vegas? We're thinking of sending Tequila there for his holidays next year to Las Vegas. What do you reckon, Tiki? Do you want to go to Vegas for a month? Do some streams from Sin City?
Yeah, I mean, the Wesley Snipes taught me a long time ago to always bet on black, so I'll be going there putting some money on the roulette. So see if Mr. Snipes is right or not.
We've got yeah, I'd say you come back a billionaire, or you can buy Tottenham then. When Klopp needed stability to transfer from Liverpool, he went and got a world-class keeper. That is so true. Yes, I live in Vegas, but I grew up in Wembley. So there you go. You got somebody staying with in Vegas now. You can go meet up with Elspeth.
Hook me up, yeah, mate. Hook me up. I'll need the money I've got to put on the bet.
We'll as a channel gift to you, we'll send you to Vegas, Tequila. We'll send you to Vegas, bud.
I'm gonna clip that demo and hold you to that one.
I know you are. It's already been clipped. It's already been clipped.
Com's already clipped it. I know he has.
Yeah, I know. And Column says that comment shows you have never been. No, I wasn't. I was a midfielder stroke striker. I wasn't a goalkeeper. So yeah. I mean, Column's the goalkeeper. He's played at semi-high level. So if anyone knows, he should know. But look, we are going to leave it there, guys. What would you give rate wise? I'm seeing what you put in the private chat, right? Okay, fair enough. Guys, score predictions for Thursday. For tomorrow. Sorry, tomorrow. My mind's gone. All these games one after the other. I need a break. Okay, score predictions tomorrow. Rain, what are you going for?
I think we're going to lose 2-0.
T?
3-0. Sorry.
As long as we don't lose more than 6, I'll be okay. I'll be happy with the.
Whoa!
I'll be happy with the 3-0 loss. I don't want to go up there and get battered like we did. We were 5-0 down by about 30 minutes under that time. But look, that's my head. My heart, I'm going for a 3-0 Spurs win. You know, my heart says different. My head's telling me, but I always go, do I go with my heart or my head? Fuck it, I'll go with my heart. Come on, you Spurs, we're going to win tomorrow. We're going to put them back. I'm going to have some magpie pie for dinner with mashed potatoes, gravy, a little bit of peas and carrots. You know, it's going to be beautiful. And I'm going to have some apple pie and some black and white custard to go down with it, just to make the point that we're the better team. But guys, we are on at 8 o'clock with me and Tequila. Yeah, we're going to talk. We're going to let Tequila loose. Basically, he's getting loose on the building on the channel. We're going to talk about the booing fans. Oh, Rain's gone. Bye, Rain. We could talk about the Porro, Sar, Frank fans blaming the fans. We're going to talk about also, Tequila. I think a talking point tonight, bud, is had the fans got a right to boo, because we do pay the high tickets prices in Europe. So we are going to talk about that as well.
Got a super chat just coming, Demo, before you go.
Yeah, we do. Thank you. Well, I'll let you take this, bud. Go on.
Try not to butcher your name, my friend. John Lee SV9BC. Not sure what that part means. Thomas Frank don't have experience in playing 2 games a week for his system. Maybe next year you play him once a week, he might be okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. This is his first time in Europe, so yeah, he hasn't had to compete with most of the midweek games.
Yeah.
I mean, Angie's first season, he didn't have any European football, and he got 5th. And then in the second season, obviously we saw what happened there. So obviously it plays a factor. You might be right, mate. But the thing is, I don't think Frank's going to be here for next year. I mean, let's be honest. We know how this story ends. He's taking shots at the fans. The players taking shots at the fans. This is only going to end one way, I'm afraid. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I don't know what else to say, mate. I think a lot of us know that how this is going to end. We've been here so many times before.
We know there was a meeting today, Tequila, between the players and the board. That's going to be interesting what comes out of that. But we will get onto that later. But thank you so much, John Lee. So really appreciate the support, bud. Pick up a membership, only 99 cents. We do have a first member show on Wednesday, Tequila. It is up and it's ready to roll. So if you're a member, you get to come on and join us and talk all things Spurs. But thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much. Tequila, we will be back in an hour or so. So do join us then, guys. This went on longer than I thought it would. I was trying to keep the half an hour, but it went on longer. So I do appreciate your support and great numbers again, Tequila. Absolutely numbers again. We must be doing something right, bud. We must be doing something right.
Spurs are helping us out there, mate. They don't mean to help us out, but they are.
No, but they are. I think you're right. Misery.
Misery likes company.
Yeah. It does.
Bless.
But guys, we are there. And then Thursday, do join us for that keep, sell, and loan one. Yeah. Do you know what, Tequila? I was going through that squad today. I'm keeping only a few, bud. There's only one or two I'm keeping.
Yep, there's not going to be many.
And as for Porro, if you're watching, go away and play with your toys. That's what I'm going to say. More on that later.
Yeah.
Hang on, just let me set up the intro. Sorry, outro. But Tequila, do you want to take us out, bud?
I'm coming after you, Porro, mate. I'm coming after you. You're going to be sleeping with the Wallabies when I'm finished with you, mate. It's just who we are.
See you soon. Bye. I love that.
Eyes on the prize.